Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. We're starting our front page review today with The Nation major headline. Tinubu, we are wrestling down economic monsters. Awka backs president for second term. President promises secured erosion-free Southeast, which I know is a major issue in the Southeast. Multi-choice loses bid to stop FCCPC probe of DSTV GoTV subscription hike. No recognition for fielding Aburi, Nadi, Usman, others, says INEC. Kano's broadcast led to killing of Gulak, others, witness tells court. World leaders hail Pope Leo the 14th. Excuse me. American gets cardinal nod on day 2. And we have another story. Senate, House to reconcile differences in tax reform bills. And statistician general, Lord Lagos data management architecture. So, what are we starting with?
I'll start with the Pope. So, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost has been elected Catholic leader and Pope Leo the 14th. This was made by the 133 cardinal electors in the 2025 conclave. They say this defies long-standing geopolitical taboos against an American pontiff, because the United States is seen as a superpower, a global superpower. So it hasn't really been a thing that they have encouraged to have a pope who's from from the United States, because it will give you a reputation of being like a superpower, So they say that let me get this here. So for centuries, the notion of an American pope was deemed unthinkable. The Vatican's elector, wary of consolidating spiritual and geopolitical power in a single nation, consistently favored candidates from Europe, Latin America, or, in rare cases, other regions, because you couldn't have a superpower pope. Anyways, he's been described as being very similar to Pope Francis in his views. They say he's criticized both Donald Trump and J.D. Vance, that's the vice president. And he's seen to be a centrist on some key social issues. He's viewed as a progressive. He has long embraced marginalized groups, a lot like Pope Francis, who championed migrants and poor. So that's really, who he is, in a nutshell, who he is. Yeah.
Okay, so the uncommon style of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is something that I'm presently just admiring. I noticed that he is visiting states of opposition parties. So he took to Anambra yesterday and he was well received. He went there as a visitor, hosted by the governor of Anambra State, who is not an APC member. And then there he flagged off and said that they will tame the issues. They're taming the issues, our economic hardship. That is, that's been plaguing the country for generations and administrations. And that just as the Atlantic Ocean was tamed in Lagos, they will tame it.
Amazing reference.
They're already doing that. Yes,
because we are in the Atlantic.
Yes. So reassuring of a renewed hope. He went on and on about what they're doing to tame that. And, because the Southwest suffer from landslides and all of that,
Southeast.
It also Southeast. And some Southwest states, it happens in my village.
Yeah.
So,
People are Midwest.
Midwest. In between. Thank you. We're actually Midwest. So he talked about how those who will be tamed. He talked about education, his policies on education. He commended the governor of Anambra State. Also, he commended the dignitaries. Chief Emeka Nyoku, who is, I didn't know he was 92 now, was also there. The traditional rulers as well as everybody, they conferred him as the DK Simba of Anambra, the strong man from another land of Anambra. So he says he will cherish that title. A lot of things were said, but what stood out for me was that dance that was trending yesterday. I said, this guy, in Aye Obasanjo, he will not go to opposition and commission anything.
No, but we know that the president is is a non, like all parties. Yeah. He has a minister that is still a member. A member of PDP.
It should be studied.
Okay, so I have the one for Lagos extending the removal of notice to owners of structures on river setback. And I think this one is some magnanimous feat from the Lagos state government. Yesterday issued an extended vacation notice to remove valuables to residents and owners of the structures on the Ikota River setback as the state began to the poking of fences on the setback. And the additional notice was sequel to the passionate plea from some of the residents followed the expiration of the mandatory contravention notices that has been served on properties to restore the drainage right of way along that Ikota end. And the Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab, said the removal of contravening structures would commence in order to find a solution to flooding issues in that axis. He also said that the government has received numerous and various complaints while it was engaging the property owners to find a win-win solution with reduced economic impact on homeowners. Some developers went ahead to further sandfill and push back Ikota River. Like when they were busy finding solutions, some developers were still working. And he's also saying that this, the stress that the government has a digital footprint of the length and breadth of the river, stressing that the tour was to ascertain the extent of the encroachment of right of way, which the team experienced, which was not also encouraging. So this is an extension. I think residents around that area would not say they did not tell them, because when it happens, it's always, they didn't tell us, they didn't serve us notice, we did not hear, we didn't know. So now you have known.
Still within Lagos State, the Statistician General of the Federation, actually, that's also SGF, but he's also the CEO of the National Bureau of Statistics, Prince Adeyemi Adeniro. He visited the Governor Sanwo-Olu yesterday, and while visiting, he was trying to canvass that they formalized the sustainable statistical system in line with 2007 Statistics Act. But he applauded the governor of Lagos State for how well they've handled their data management process. That data is extremely important. That he said building resilient sub-national data system is essential to achieving our goals. We all talk about we want more hospitals, we want this one. It's because people don't have enough, government doesn't have enough data. But the SGF Statistician General is saying that the Lagos State government has been very forward in thinking when it comes to data, and he said that they are committed to a robust ecosystem that supports evidence-based planning, informed investment decision, and effective policy implementation. I don't think Nigerians understand how important data is to our everyday life. If not, we would be reporting police reports. We do Instagram. We do Instagram and Twitter reports. But when we don't do formalized reports, we don't have that enough data. Kidnapping happens, people get rescued, but we don't talk about it because we don't formally documenting those things. So everything needs to be well documented. The government can plan properly. Moving on to the second paper we're reviewing, the Punch major headline: refitting and repainting newly acquired presidential jet flown to South Africa. Tinubu using leased aircraft for foreign local flights. That's according to the Punch. Other stories: Labour Party crisis. Akpabio turns to be as OT demands Abure's arrest. Wigwe, U.S. helicopter firm may face criminal charges. Marketers warn federal government against hasty fuel import ban. UK police recover Nigerian teenager's corpse inside lake. Labour Party vows to defeat APC in Lagos local government poll. Tinubu, Trump, world leaders congratulate American Pope. Nigeria taps additional $215 million World Bank loan for palliatives. 2027, Almakura Masari mobilized CPC block for Tinubu. All right. DHQ links foreign headsmen to Benue and Plateau killing.
Let me quickly take a short story. A final report from the U.S. National Transportation Safety Board has cited pilot disorientation and violation of flight protocols as part of the reasons why the helicopter that flew our own former group GMD, former group chief executive of Access Holdings, Herbert Wige, and his family, alongside with the NGX group chairman Abimbola Ogunbanjo, who all crashed in that helicopter. And so they're looking at them facing criminal charges based on that. They said that not only did they violate flight protocols, but the decision to proceed under visual flight rules is in instrumental meteorological conditions are some of the key causes of the crash. And I'm hoping that they follow through, because if this does not have consequence, it will continue to happen.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we'll continue with front page review. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.